What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Nerdwide podcast. One of my favorite episodes of the year, our game of the year, movie of the year, TV show of the year, where we break down, talk about all of our favorite content from 1 to 5, starting down at the bottom, coming all the way up to our favorite of the year. This is episode 139 of the Nerdwide podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Haynes, with my good friend and co-host, Mr. Chris Rivers. So we need a smoke machine, some, poppers or something,
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
I downloaded the image for Best of 23. Can't really see it. It's like so.
And you know it's there, though.
Yeah.
Listen,
it's the thought that counts.
It's going to be an exciting time because I texted you this morning. Of course, we've been talking about it all week. I talked about last episode, having to compile everything. But I texted you this morning and I said, it's really hard to do our TV shows because we watched a lot of just phenomenal TV shows this year. Movies were a little bit harder or a little bit easier. And then for gaming, what we're going to do is we're just going to do our game of the years right off the bat and then get right into it because this is a fun episode. We really hope you enjoy it. Really hope you let us know down in the comments what your favorite movie and TV show and game of 2023 was. What we're going to do is we're going to do everything, like things that released this year. So if, one of my favorite movies was Nightmare on Elm Street for our Halloween 2023 Horror Fest. Can't do that one because it didn't release in 2023. So we're keeping it all just for the 2023 year, even though we talked about some things this year already. Because if not, Iron Man would already be my number 1 on the list. Iron Man 2 would be number 2 on the movies, and so on and so forth. Because we did start our Marvel in review this year. Quick housekeeping before we run into it all. Don't forget to subscribe to either our podcasting service or your podcasting service or our YouTube channel. If you enjoy the show, make sure you leave us a thumbs up on YouTube or give us a good rating on whatever podcasting app you do use. I am pretty far behind on the podcasting app, so give me a little bit. I just have to transfer it all over and upload it all. I will be doing that over the break that we will have, and everything will be up to date and good to go, and we'll go from there. But YouTube, everything's up to date. Well, as of this recording, I've got 2 episodes I need to upload. All edited, just haven't uploaded. It's been busy at work. Okay, usually don't tell anybody in chat. All right, listen. Usually while I'm working, I edit it and then upload it. I've been so busy if I work from home this week that I'm just behind on a lot of things. So, but we're gonna get to there. We'll get everybody there. We'll get all the episodes uploaded. It'll be fine. It'll be great. But we'll get there. If you don't enjoy what you see here, let us know down in the comments. Let me know so we can improve it. If audio is terrible, things like that, just let us know down in the comments. If you want to do more, you can always go to patreon.com/nerdwide. 3 different tiers for 3 different monetary values. That's the place where you get episodes early. You can get the recommend things for us, all that kind of good stuff. That is the place to do it. All right, Chris, how has your week been? We are, I guess, as of this recording, we are 2 weeks from the end of 2022.
Yeah.
How we doing?
So had some overtime this week.
Ugh.
We and they let us know, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, that they wanted us to come in Saturday, which, as we record this, was yesterday, and they wanted us to work full shifts, mandatory, which they normally don't do. So I had a lot of people that came up to me and said, "Look, I've got this going on, that going on.
It's the holiday season.
Yeah, well, not where I work. So,
gotta make their money.
I think the head honcho's first name is Ebenezer, but
yeah,
we're gonna get there. I don't know where the call. I think the call might have been made out of state somewhere, But anyway, outside of that, though, it went well. I'm off now. Today was day 1 of 9 in a row, so.
Oh, see.
I got some stuff to get done, though.
Oh, now you have plenty of time to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find just a black screen so I don't look so washed out. is what
So
I'm double clicking.
how go into night mode on a site.
There we go. That worked.
So how's your week been?
Man, it's been. I'm trying to think. It's been a decent week. It's been real busy. Holiday season in full effect at the hospital. We had our holiday party last night for my department, and which went well. And it's just been stressful trying to get all the gifts in for children, family members, and everything. And I'm just ready to be done here.
Every year, every year I say I'm going to, about June, July, I start kind of setting this aside, getting this, make it a little easier. And every year I end up at the last second going,
Every single year. We got most, if not everything, done today. And I'm like, what's a week from Christmas? Oh, God. Listen, that's not why we're here, Chris.
no,
It's time.
No, not at all.
We need to talk about our of the year. Best of 2023 for Nerdwide Podcast. This is the big one. This is our stamp of approval, best ofs, all that kind of shenanigans, if you will. But since we kind of put gaming on the back burner this year, and for most of it, because we have our more insightful talks come with our TV shows and our movies and things like that. Let's just do our game of the year, just our one thing, and then we can move into like the more discussions kind of thing. I'll start off, and my game of the year came in at a big surprise to me. Was not really expecting it. It is not Assassin's Creed Mirage, as most would think. It was one Final Fantasy 16. That game, truly phenomenal. Music was, I still listen to the music weekly. It is just beautiful, very hype. There is no DLC. Thank you for that Game Awards. And yeah, that's it. I did not expect to love that game as much as I did. And that gripped me for 2 or 3 weeks till I beat it. I cried, I laughed, I really enjoyed it, and it's just overall just a wonderful game, and it's one that I think everybody should play if you like action-y games. So,
yeah,
boom.
This is where I let the show down, right? Because I think the only games I've played that actually came out this year are sports games.
I mean, that's your thing, though. So, I mean, it's
my thing,
yeah.
But there's other stuff I want to get to. There's just not time. So I'd have to go MLB The Show 23.
So it is I think this is a great one because this is the one with the Negro League, right? Is the one that started off with it, and it's one of the better ones. I've seen a lot of glowing reviews from it when it came out. It was February,
February or March.
Yeah, it's one of the early year games. And so that doesn't surprise me. That's a good choice.
And I'm still playing it, so.
Getting your packs and your cards and your...
In December.
Oh, that's a good point. Listen, what was that Shohei Ohtani stuff? Woo!
Yeah.
Ooh. Talk about a team that didn't need it.
If anybody out there would like to give me a 10-year contract for $700 million...
I can do a lot of things for $700 million. Just letting you know.
Yeah. I'm in.
So. All right, Chris. Let's do this bad boy. Let's start it up. We'll do number 5, and then I'll start. I'll do number 5. Chris will do number 5. I'll do number 4. I'll do number 4. So to just give you the cadence of the show, if you've never seen any of our rankings, I guess that's how we usually do it.
I do have an honorable mention.
Ooh, okay.
And it's nothing wild. It's just I think we did this last year.
I had one for the movies. Oh, I need to.
I've got one for movies as well this year, but TV. I did honorable mention for Titans and Doom Patrol, just because partial seasons. I'm not gonna rank them.
That's where I was with Doom Patrol. I gave it an honorable mention on it. I guess Titans as well. I keep forgetting Titans was this year at the beginning of it, and it's just. RIPs. That's all they're ever going to get either is honorable mentions because no one's going to talk about them anymore, unfortunately.
Nope.
So.
They're done.
They're done. All right. I'm going to start off. Number 5. My top five, numero five of TV of 2023. Gen V, season one. That show that came out of nowhere, I feel like, surprised the hell out of me. I don't know why, because of how much I love the boys, and I just absolutely love this one. And no surprise there, though.
Good choice. Um, season 5. God bless. Number 5 for me was Secret Invasion.
Oh.
I came in probably higher than, I don't know where it's at on your list, obviously, so maybe you don't even have it here, but a lot of people were down on it.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, this was probably about the time Marvel knew that they were changing direction with the whole Kang thing, which is what we think's going on.
Right.
And I wonder if they had more shot, because the finale was only like 37 minutes. So
yeah, it wasn't long at all.
It makes me wonder if they had some stuff shot that was going to lead to that, or help set some stuff with that up, and they just didn't feel the need to include it. And I think that could have changed the show. It had great performances. I mean, we got Emilia Clarke in the MCU. Sam Jackson was Sam Jackson. So it had some phenomenal performances. We did see Maria Hill get killed too. That's disappointing.
For one episode.
But yeah, that came in as my number 5.
I don't even have it on my list. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of TV.
Yeah.
And my number 4, though, Superman and Lois, season 3. I feel like this was a season that they stepped it up, and CGI was on point, story was on point. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end next year, but it's I hate it, but this is a truly phenomenal season, and I feel like every episode we covered and talked about it, I said the same thing of they have stepped it up this year. The story is on point, CGI is on point, and I'm always wanting more. So from here on out, each one of these barely beat each other out on my list, because I love them all very much for their own individual things. But yeah, number 4, Superman and Lois, season 3.
Number 4, season 2 of the Santa Clauses.
Really?
Really?
Okay.
It surprised me. I mean, first season was good. We both liked the first season. But season 2, I didn't think I would like as well as I did. And what probably kind of locked it in for me was Eric Stonestreet. He had a really great performance there, I felt.
I really liked him as Santa. It came out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm right there with you. I really enjoyed that. So I'm trying to go through here and put your picks in. I meant to do that earlier.
So, yeah.
And this the Clauses, season 2. All right. This one also surprised me, just about as much as Gen V did, for my number 3 pick of 2023 of our TV shows. My Adventures with Superman. That came out of nowhere. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did. The music, again, was great on it. The animation was a lot of fun. The story is very, very cool. And same thing with Superman and Lois. Just each episode I wanted more, and I could not wait till next week till we got it. And that's why it's my number 3 pick.
Number 3, Gen V.
I know it's going to be on my list.
Yeah. I enjoyed the show. I kind of liked that we got something with the same tone of the boys, with a break from those characters. That was nice. I liked sort of the whodunit aspect of the season too. There's a little bit of a mystery to what was going on, as opposed to just, hey, here's your big bad. And
and it's
We're
still
gonna
world building on the show and the world that we do love with the boys, but not
right.
having those characters so much in it. And
Yeah,
I think it's
you
just
got the
that's what makes a great spin-off show.
you got the one appearance from Homelander,
Hmm.
and then we got which brought up a whole new set of questions with
Hmm.
what happened there. It's it was definitely a surprise to me because a lot of times those things can go sideways.
Right. And
So
it was like a X-Men kind of show, and I think it's right there. I'm right there with you. It's just so good, and I for sure did not expect it being as good as it was. So,
right,
all right. So me saying my number two, I think you'll be able to guess what my number one is. But my number two,
I think we might have the same two at the top.
there might be different orders. I don't know. I'm just curious to see this one. All right. My number two of 2023 for TV, The Last of Us season one. I felt like this was a phenomenal adaptation for a video game, especially a video game that has some really crazy story beats and still adapting it to TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait. Like, I'm still waiting for season two, and they don't start filming it. I think they said in like June of next year or May or something like that. And I'm just like, we've got to get there. We got to speed this process up. But The Last of Us, just phenomenal.
Yeah. So kind of sort of we're in the same boat, except I kind of cheated here.
Mm.
I kind of cheated because Gen V was below these shows. I had to do a tie at number two,
Mm. Just couldn't do it.
and these are two shows that are side by side for me, but they're tonally so different. But they were both on the same level of entertaining me,
Mm.
and I just couldn't pick and knock one below the other. And I knew what my number one was,
Okay.
so they had to fit here. Um, Last of Us
Mm-hmm.
and Goosebumps.
Oh, see, I had Goosebumps, and I even almost put it in honorable mentions.
Yeah, I loved that show,
Yeah.
but I was like, okay, they're really different,
Mm-hmm.
but I enjoyed them both equally.
They,
And
they both had zombies, right? Kinda. No, no, it's more ghosts for Goosebumps.
yeah, well,
Yeah, it's like, maybe. I don't
maybe,
know.
maybe. Um, but yeah, I just had to put them both side by side. Goosebumps was, it hit. Great decision for them to hold off and drop that when they did.
Hmm.
And Last of Us, everyone was waiting for. I think I even texted you the other night saying, that we've got two Golden Globe nominations, one for Bella Ramsey, one
Hmm.
for Pedro Pascal. So, and season two's got to get here.
Yeah, that's.
Season two just has to happen.
And there's talks of them, though they have already hired their Abby for season two.
Mm-hmm.
They just have not released who it is yet. Which I'm like, if you already know, that means she's probably buffing up. Because Abby was a very muscular character because of the big twist that happens in the second game. God,
And
so good.
And to just one more thing on Goosebumps, I thought going into that Justin Long was going to be head and shoulders carrying that show,
Mm-hmm.
and he did very very well. But the rest of the cast really stepped up
Yes.
and equally carried it. So I don't know, just couldn't separate the two.
I get it. There was, when I was talking about my games, I had stuff like that where I was like, I just can't do it. The movies ones, I don't know. We'll see with that one. But that makes me think that our number ones are the same.
I mean, it's likely.
So, for my number one best of TV show 2023, Loki season to. You just couldn't. I mean, you can't beat that show. Period. I mean, that show was just so good. Came out of nowhere. We're never going to see. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again, especially with Loki at all. Because I mean, his story is done. So I mean,
Right.
it's such a just a phenomenal show, and there's just nothing better. I mean, that's the best of it, and it's. I don't want to say it's leagues better than Last of Us for me, but it's a good head and shoulders above it for me. Just because I liked Loki season 1, but season 2 I absolutely love. They tied everything together from season 1. Tom Hiddleston's acting was absolutely out of this world, and I still go back to that final scene of him and Yggdrasil and the timeline and everything, and just his raw emotion on his face, and just to know that it was all done on a blue screen stage, and it's so good, man. And
Yeah.
and the callbacks to Thor 1, I mean, Jesus, what a show that was.
And I think he'll get mentioned again, and I think in Secret Wars
I
he'll
hope so. I
reappear.
want to see our Thor meet this Loki.
Yeah, but we almost have to see him again in Secret Wars because the whole thing is going to be that it's going to come down to one timeline, correct? So
We'll for sure see Mobius and or maybe see Ravonna again, and we might see. Do you think we'll see Sylvie again? I think we'll have to see her because
maybe
her and
maybe
Mobius are doing the whole
she's
thing of trying to clean up all the Jonathan Major stuff.
yeah.
So
So maybe we get her again. She could also be someone that encounters Thor and says, "Hey, I'm Loki," and he's like, "No, really, who are you?"
right,
She's like, "No, I'm."
my Loki's got dark hair, boy. You're not Loki.
And then she'll probably tell him what happened.
Right. She goes, "Oh, you're that Loki's brother," and yeah, God, that'd be good. Actually,
Yeah.
really good.
Okay. That was my number one.
Oh, that was your number one.
We-
I mean, there's nothing better
No,
this year that we
no.
watched that could possibly top that. And God, I want to go rewatch it again. The girls have not seen it yet, so when they rewatch it, I'm going to rewatch it with them.
It was funny. You were just staring at me like, okay, and I'm going, what? No, that
So, but
TV shows were challenging though because
yes,
in part I was sitting here and I was going, okay, I know I've got to be missing some. So I was trying to remember everything. And finally I just thought, you know what? If after sitting here for 15, 20 minutes trying to think if I got all of them, if I haven't remembered something by now, it didn't stick with me.
right.
So it's not going to be.
Well, see, that's what so I do. This year, I challenged myself really hard to log everything that I watched TV. If it's just one episode, I put it in TV Time, the app, and the same thing with Letterboxd. If I ever watch like a clip of a movie or something, I put it in there, and so that helped me out a whole lot this year. I do want to give honorable mentions to The Crown. I have not finished yet. Season 6 came out. The last half came out this past Thursday. Was National Treasure this year? It was 22.
Oh.
It ended in 23. Okay. I would like to give a shout out to that because that was a fun show. Just unfortunately, just didn't.
Oh, didn't that drop in like November of last year?
It's TV Time says 2022 to 2023. So I wonder when the third episode. I wonder if it shows when the episodes aired because that would be phenomenal if it did. Yes,
Wikipedia.
the last one came out February 8th, 2023.
Really?
Started August 24th.
That can't be right. National Treasure?
Oh no, started December 14th, 2022. So we finished. That was, yeah. So it goes weekly from the 22nd of December or 14th of December of last year.
I thought that was squarely at the end of 22, but okay.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's been a weird year.
Yeah.
Um,
and we're not far from kicking right into next year because Echo is what, January 9th?
Yeah, that's gonna be. We'll have what if talk about then too, and so but we're gonna start essentially just hit the floor running at the beginning of the year with our shows, which
Mm.
again I'm not complaining about. So,
No, no.
um, but all right. Speaking of though, releases these next 3 weeks until we actually come back to you guys. We have got Wednesday, December 20th, Percy Jackson and the Olympians comes out on Disney Plus, and then starting on Friday, December 22nd, with a daily release date of Marvel's What If Season 2. And I don't know about you, but I have stayed away from everything. I haven't seen trailers. I shared you the episode list this
Episodes.
week,
Yeah.
and there are some ones I'm like, I'm curious to see how they're going to play that. But I am excited about it.
Right.
So
Should be good.
yes,
The one I'm excited for is the Avengers one.
the old one was a 1601 or something like that,
Yeah, something like that.
which is going to be fun because how do
Yeah.
you do like Iron Man? Thor, it'd be kind of easy to predict how he's going to do, but
Right.
like your Iron Man's, your Hulks, your stuff like that, it's going to be a little fun.
Uh, I need to scroll through some of the Marvel stuff and see what was going on in the MCU at that time.
Mm,
Because I mean, they've got something that
right.
happened back there. Probably Hercules or someone like that would be
Mm.
involved. The Eternals, obviously.
Oh, that's a good point. I wonder. I see what you're saying. So yeah, I'm okay. Like the Avengers assembled in 1602. Oh, okay. I like it. I like it.
All right, film. Film.
Mm, 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 mm.
I kind of did this the way that I did our Halloween rankings. I just looked at what score I gave them
Mm.
and did that way.
I
Wait,
did the same thing, um, but a lot of mine, my number fives, I gave it 5 out of 5. I had three this year,
yeah.
3 or 4.
I I think we had 13 2023 films.
Hmm. You went through and count them all.
Well, I had to write them down so that I didn't
Oh, I
get
said you
one.
get misconstrued.
Uh, I do have an honorable mention though. It's one that we didn't cover together on the show. I mentioned that I'd watched it, and that's Totally Killer.
Mm.
I gave it 4 stars, and I wanted to kind of give it a shout out because it's not actually eligible for the list, but I think it's one that people should check out.
I think I'm the same. No, that was 2021. Never mind. I thought Black Phone came out in 2022. They didn't. Um, I would like to, for my honorable mention, one Blue Beetle.
Mm.
Just, I mean, I gave it a 3 stars out on Letterboxd. I want to go back and watch it again. Obviously, I don't have the steelbook, which still grinds my gears, but
You know what really grinds my gears? Um, all right, so number five for me, um, the Marvels.
Hmm.
I liked it more than the critics did for sure. And I probably liked it more than a lot of other people. I just felt like it was, and maybe because I just didn't go in really expecting anything in particular.
Right.
I was just like, all right, let's just see what story they're going to tell us. And um, Iman Vellani's enthusiasm
God,
is,
she's carrying the MCU from here on out. Like she really is.
it's just, it's infectious, right? Like you're
Mm.
watching it, and you can tell that there's moments where the character's supposed to geek out about something, but it's just really her geeking
Right.
out that this is happening. It's not, she's not in character
Mm-mm.
in those moments. She's just really just like, yeah, this is going on, and
Right.
I think that that's really cool that and it's cool that they're getting to capture it on film, right? Because you're always going to be able to go back, and it's like that's how an MCU fan would be
Yes.
if you found yourself in this scenario in a movie, going, I can't believe this is happening.
Right. So good. Like the comedic timing from Samuel L. Jackson in that movie too was very well done, and with her family.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I blanking on her name right now? Imani plays Kamala Khan's family, and I just felt like it was very well done. A little short, but still good. Not on my top 5 list.
No,
Mm-mm.
no, but the other thing too is I think that's one that's going to be more fondly remembered
Yes,
as things play out.
well, it's the
Um,
start of it all. The start of what they've
yeah,
been building towards. So
yeah, and we had two really cool. Well, one was just the end of the movie,
mm-hmm.
right? And then we had a nice little mid-credit scene. So
Oh god, those though this movie in particular, their post credit scenes are going to go down as one of the best ones, or as two of the
yeah,
best ones, just because of what it's doing. Oh god, I can't wait. Number 5 for me. I don't know if you'll have this one on your list. These other 4, I think you will, but this one I don't think you do. Air with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Loved that story. The acting was phenomenal. That's gonna be up for some awards. There's no way it's not. And that's one I want to go back and rewatch at some point soon, but I just haven't gotten the time for it yet.
yeah. Uh, my number four. I don't know if you'll have this on your list. Tetris.
Oh no! I had it sitting there. That was one that I was like, do I need? And I just couldn't. It was like number 6 or number 7 for me. If I was in
Yeah,
like a top 10.
yeah. It was. I gave it 4 stars, and I just loved the. Whoa, what was
Sorry,
that?
my table was broken. I fixed it.
Uh, I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It was kind of cool to see. I'm sure a somewhat fictionalized version of how
Right.
this all went down, but performances were really good, and it was just I don't know. I think it hit at just the right time. It was kind of a break.
hmm
I think we were coming out of our Oscar watches,
I think
which
so. Before leading into our Marvel stuff.
yeah, so it was
Let
like
me see.
some of those Oscar films were really heavy. They were great films, but they were really heavy to watch. And it was kind of nice. Tetris is not exactly a comedy, but it was just something different. I don't know. It hit different for me.
Was Babylon an Oscar film? I think it was,
I
right?
think it was. I think it was.
So we did Babylon was the last one, and then we did Shazam, Me Time, Murder Mystery 2, Interceptor, and then Tetris. Both of us gave that a 4 stars though.
Anything after Me Time was 4 stars. So
I forgot about
that,
that movie.
that movie was atrocious.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I saw that one on my letterboxd and I'd given it 1.5 stars. I was like, wow.
Oh man.
And I just want to go on record. I think that was your suggestion that we watch.
I've
Yeah.
been told worse. I've, okay, it's not as bad as that one movie which we watched in 2020 or 2021. The superhero movie.
Oh,
Shall not be
Thunder
named.
Force.
Yeah, God, that movie.
I think I graded Me Time below that.
Oh God, we watch
Like it
some
was like
movies, man. We watch
I think,
from all ranges.
I think it was like half a star below Thunder Force for
Oh.
me. I don't. Maybe they're the same. I don't know.
Number 4, one that we had waited for years for. Did not know how this character came back to life. Didn't know it could come back to life. One,
The God of Thunder.
Extraction 2. Wonderful, just wonderful movie. The action scenes and choreography were phenomenal. What was it, the 22-minute, 26-minute oneer that they did
Yeah.
was so damn impressive. Like, I just don't understand. I still do not understand how you can do something like that in film at all. And it's just very well done.
It would have been in contention for me for my top five, except as I was scrolling through the Letterbox diary, I saw it and I was like, "We watched that this year." So I was like, you know what? If I had that reaction, then I can't put it in my
Yeah,
top five.
that's
But
a good point.
after I saw it, was like, oh yeah,
Love that movie.
I I remembered the scenes and stuff. It
I
was
think
just
Chris Hemsworth might be one of my favorite actors because
yeah.
he's pretty high up there.
Hopefully he'll kick things back into gear. I know he took the break. I don't know if it's over yet.
Ooh, I'm not sure. I haven't really heard because I follow him like on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. But
Yeah.
he's posted like a lot of family things in his Center app or whatever it is for fitness. But he
Yeah.
hadn't really posted a bunch about movie stuff yet.
My number three. I think you're probably going to have this higher than me. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I think the only reason I docked it a half stars, I felt like it was a little long.
Hmm.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
That is my number 3 as
Is
well.
it?
Yep, we're
Is
the
it?
same one.
Yeah, it was. It was a little bit long, but I mean, having all the homages to the different Spider-Men
Mm-hmm.
and various other Spider people and animals,
Cars.
cars from across the Spider Verse was really cool. The animation, the voice
Mm-hmm.
acting, everything's really good in this. So
They
um,
have they've said they've officially resumed on the third movie finally. Because after which I mean, we didn't even talk. We should talk about the beginning of the show. Of this was a weird year for us, and we're gonna get the effects of it for next year due to the strikes,
yeah,
and which is it's really going to impede a lot of things. I think the first half of next year, and but we're through it. Everybody got their money. Hopefully, it lasts longer than the 3 years that they did it for. But
I'm wondering too if what we're going to see is more content because whereas you normally get that break between projects for people,
right,
I wonder if they'll push those projects together and not take as many breaks and because
get paid.
some of these you've got certain times of the year TV shows are planned to drop. You've
Mm-hmm.
got certain windows they have to reserve their windows for theater chains and stuff like that. So but yeah, I think that from what I could remember, that was the only reason I didn't 5-star that movie was it
The
was
length. God, the
yes.
the ending is what killed me on that one because there was a
Is
lot that I
that
was like, oh, they get in here, oh, it could end here, oh, it could end here, and
yeah
it didn't. But then didn't it? I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. So
it was it was I think as we were leaving the theater, we even said, if you've got another one coming up, you could have
yeah,
made this one a little shorter.
I would have edited it a little differently because I think we even talked about in our review of it. Where else do you go in the rest of the story?
Right.
I don't understand. I felt like after he got free from the spider force or whatever they were called, I think that would have been a great ending point to it. But instead, we did some other things in it. And I'm like, we could have wrapped this up here.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, for sure. So that was your three too. So I guess we're
it
back to me
was.
for two.
Now, I'm curious. I think one of these we will for sure have together. I don't know about the other one.
You
But
mean that they'll be on both lists, or you mean you think that
I
I'll
think they'll be on
have
both lists. Now, if we sync up the rest of these three, then
the
we're
rest of these two?
the rest of these two, then we are. Well, if our top three sync up, then we're actually right there wavelength wise on these movies. So,
Well, my number two is going to destroy that. My number two is Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle. Oh, nah, I'm with you.
I came in high on that. I loved that. I think it was um, probably in part because of a lot of the other DC stuff that we've seen, and it was significantly better than that. And I feel like it was in line too, because it's Marvel's dipped a little bit
Yep.
with some of their stuff, and I felt like from a superhero standpoint, it's a little bit um, of the Miss Marvel effect, where you really felt like the people involved with this enjoyed making it.
And wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and George Lopez especially,
I
right?
did not expect to like him as much as I did in that movie. He almost stole the movie.
Yeah, he
And
really did.
Zola was great as Jaime,
Yeah,
but oh man, George Lopez just out of nowhere. Him and his
just
truck. I'm gonna watch that again this week. I know it's not a
uh,
Christmas movie, but I gotta watch it again this week.
it's really good, and I still don't understand James Gunn's. He's like the character's going to continue, but what happened in this?
Right,
This is the character's origin story.
right. So
It
how does it not continue through? Uh, we just watch the movies, Chris. You know, we just
right.
watch them and talk about them.
Yeah. Speaking of, what's your number two?
Number two, which this was a very hard one to pick between this one and my number one, but I thought about it. It came down to what I enjoyed the most and which one I have seen more than once this year is what picked up my number one. But for my number two, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3. A very good ending to all of our stories. All of the stories for there. A nice little set off point. But my number one, which I'll talk about it, main reason I picked number one is because I rewatched it again this year. As you know, I watched it multiple times in one year. That usually lets me know, hey, this is the movie you enjoy the most. Because if you're gonna go back and rewatch it, and then
Yeah.
especially because as soon as I got the Steelbook, I rewatched it again. And but Guardians of the Galaxy 3, very, very well done. I do want to rewatch it. I just not ready to cry yet because there were some very raw, very beautiful emotional points in it,
Uh-huh.
and I'm really excited to see where they go from there. But I don't know if we
Yeah.
will for a very long time.
Mm, my number one. So you mentioned this movie earlier. I gave this 4.5 stars.
Shut up, Chris. If we got the same number one again for TV and movies, okay,
No, I can tell you we don't.
okay.
It's Air.
Ah, see,
I came in.
you didn't even give me a hint at all when I put it at number five. Like you didn't. I can't tell it on your face or anything.
Uh, no, I enjoyed it. It's such I think, an important story to be
Mm-hmm.
told. Um, and they did it so well. I mean, from Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman. I can't even remember everybody that was in the
Viola
movie.
Davis
Viola
for the
Davis was
mom.
in there. There were some other people with the office staff. Um, anyway, it won me over. And like you said, it's got to be somewhere in award season.
Yeah,
I would think.
there's no way it's not right. I would be shocked. Like we need to. Can we get on the Academy? I mean, can we start nominating things?
If people get to nominate, well, they do have the People's Choice, I guess. But
Yeah, that's I'm talking about the Oscars though. They should
yeah,
like, oh, what did Nerdwide write in this year? God, could you imagine, Chris? Yeah, we're Oscar nominators. Not a big deal. We're part of the Academy. My number one. I mentioned it earlier. It is Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
mm,
Absolutely loved this movie. The first one I really enjoyed. I think the first one I've seen 3 or 4 times at this point. And this one I've seen twice. And that's what won it over Guardians of the Galaxy is just because I did rewatch it. As soon as I got the movie, I was like, okay, I have to watch this again. And I hate that it didn't get the love that it should have.
right.
And especially with Zachary Levi loving this movie, and especially all the people that worked on it. And he's gotten a lot of backlash from it. And just, I hate it, but it's a very, very, very good movie. And I think everybody really deserves to give it a shot. And I don't think we'll get any more of it, but God, I hope we do. I really don't think we will, though.
If I had gone 6 and 7, well, I guess since I had an honorable mention, if I had gone 7 and 8, it probably would have been Shazam and Guardians.
Yeah.
looking at my list. So,
It was a tough year for movies too, man. It was. I'm curious to see what our list is going to look like next year, just because of the strike, and if we'll get as many movies. But they pushed a lot of movies back from 2022 3 to 2024. So like Dune 2, I know that's going to be real high up. That's to no one's surprise on my
I still
list.
haven't
But
watched the first one.
oh, Chris, I'm telling you, man, that might be one I might have you over for, and we'd like a watch party for or something like that. With
Okay.
surround sound and my lights and everything, just because it changed me. It changed the
Yeah.
way I see a lot of movies and things like that. And I watched it. I don't think I mentioned it. We might have talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I watched it on my phone. I had it while I was working on my phone, and I had to stop watching it because I would not pay attention to work. It's just such a phenomenal, phenomenal movie, and the set part two is going to be even better, I think, especially since it's been done for like 2 years and it's not out yet. So
Yeah, yeah. There's films here at the end of this year too that like I'd love to see Wonka. I've heard great things
I
about
have
it,
to.
but it's just I'm not gonna have time to
Yeah,
watch it. So,
that's how I feel.
uh,
And we've got one coming out this week that I don't know if it would go on my list, but from who knows, honestly. So
depends on what they do to Amber Heard, right?
God,
Uh,
that's gonna be their only redeem. That's gonna be if they do it right, then I'm gonna cancel this episode and make us re-record it.
but yeah, we on December 20th in cinemas, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and we are going to see that,
Mhm.
and we're gonna do probably a special little episode talking about it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find potentially Saturday night.
Okay.
We'll have to see our schedules because it's from starting from Wednesday on. I've got like it's Christmas stuff all the way
Yeah.
through, and it's just. But I do want to, especially since we're going to see it, I do want to get us to record our review of it. If it's if it's 5-10 minutes, I do want us to sit down and talk about it, and we'll do spoilers for it, just to have everyone watch it at their own um, not advisory, with their own caution, I guess. But
Yeah. Also, Rebel Moon on Netflix, December 22nd. So,
you seen all the reviews it's been getting?
uh,
Not good.
no.
Like
Well,
in the 20s.
but again, the critics were trashing the Marvels too,
Yeah,
and
that's a valid point. Because this is supposed to be like his ever expanding universe.
yeah.
So I'm sure we'll watch it in 2024. So we'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been your best of 2023 with Nerdwide, with our TV, which we could just put our stamp of approval right now for Nerdwide's favorite TV show of the year, Loki Season 2, and Nerdwide's movies of the year, Air and Shazam Fury of the Gods. Thank you so much. Listen, thank you so much for sticking with us this whole year. It's been a fun one. We did a lot of things we've never done before with the Oscars rewatch and predictions, which we are going to do again for 2024. Of course, we did do our 2023 Horror Fest. We started our Marvel rewatch, which we will finish up in 2024 when I guess it'll have to be after the Oscar nominees and everything. I think could we get a did we say when the nominations will go live for the Oscars?
Don't know.
Oscars release. Let's see. Nominations release. January 23rd will be announced. The annual nominees luncheon will take place on February 12th, with final voting carried out between the 22nd and 27th of February.
So we'll have maybe a week or two there where we might dip back into.
Mm-hmm. So, but again, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us for 2023. As always, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, which is where a lot of our content is, as far as like our reactions, our book reviews and things like that. We did do a couple. We did 2 or 3 book reviews this year.
Too.
2, and it's just been a great year, I think, for Nerdwide. I texted Chris this week. We had our YouTube creator, I guess, what year in review kind of thing, and for some reason, 17 hours of Blue Beetle reacts happen on our channel, and I don't understand how that happens. But thank you for all of you who watched 17 hours of a 7-minute trailer react. But we appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not the video I would have expected to get 17
Right.
hours. But
The Extraction,
hey,
maybe. Extraction 2 was a phenomenal one. That one should have been high up on the list. But anyways, guys, subscribe to us everywhere. We greatly appreciate it. We are on everything on social media, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Refuse to call it anything else, no matter what happened this year. But we here at Nerdwide hope you have a great holidays, have a very Merry Christmas, and have a great New Year. We will be back before the end of the year for an Aquaman The Lost Kingdom review and upload. I'm not sure when that will be uploaded, but it will be before 2024. I'm hoping to get that done ASAP after we record it, because if we record on Saturday, then Christmas Eve, then Christmas is the next couple of days. So I'm hoping I could turn around time that real fast and throw it through. But make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube and whatever podcasting service you use, because that's where they're going to go straight to. But other than that, again, have a happy holidays, have a Merry Christmas, and have a great New Year's, and we're going to see you back in 2024. Thank you so much for watching and listening.
see you next year, guys.